Ezra Butler, 1938 Media. I'm sitting here with Aza Raskin of Mozilla, the people who really want to kill all startups all over. Aza, why do you hate startups?
Hey, I've done 2 startups. I love startups. I think what you're trying to allude to is the fact that we're taking a lot of the platform that things like Facebook and Twitter have shown are absolutely needed on the web, and we're just adding them as a fundamental capability to the web.
Okay, let's take a step back.
All right.
Because they really
have no idea
clue.
what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're at FOA in London, 2009. Future of Web Applications, apps. And basically what you just did was you guys came out and announced a new thing right now. Or, well, not really, but, you know, kind of.
I would say that we sort of pre-flighted some ideas that we've been sort of kicking around about what is the future of the web and what is the future of the browser.
Okay. Now, what were some of these ideas that you kicked around today and you shared with your adoring fans?
It starts with some of the sort of the basic stuff, the stuff that we already know is going to happen, like just basic desktop integration. It's ridiculous that if I want to upload my photos to Flickr or to any other sort of social site, the first thing I have to do is like plug in my camera, go to the desktop, copy the pictures over, open it up in some sort of photo manipulation program, edit them, get them done, then figure out how to upload them via file upload widget. It's not a good game, right?
It took you about 25 seconds just to say the process.
Exactly. I mean, this is the digital divide in action. Much better. You plug it in. The web should know that you've just plugged in a USB device. It should be able to read your photos right off the disk and go directly to Flickr, whatever you want, right? And it should have like, you should be able to do video, be able to do audio, access file systems. I mean, the big thing holding us back is security. But as soon as we have that figured out, right, this is where the web is going. So starting from there, talking about the social aspect, saying, you know, it's your friends and your social graph. They're too important to have owned by any one company, any one vendor, especially one.
Besides Mozilla.
Hey, no. Even so. What I was saying before is that the social aspect, like the entire social graph, should be owned by your browser. That should be your data,
which is Mozilla.
No, your data is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. It sits there, but that doesn't mean we own your data, right? Because if we provide an API, and this is an agnostic API, right? You never have to export it from Facebook, which they don't allow anyway. Then any website can access. So it's really democratizing this information. So to go back to your question before, are we killing startups? Why do I hate startups? I don't. Instead, we're saying, you know, it's silly that every startup is like, oh, here's the pain point. It's hard to move It's hard to move your social graph from one site to another. It sucks to sign up and upload your avatar. Well, let's just solve that once and for all, and then let startups focus on the really interesting, innovative stuff that comes after.
Okay, cool. Now, what is so the name of this new software, or whatever, is called? Is it a software? Is it an app? Ubiquity.
Okay, so the couple things here. So the thing we're focusing on is sort of this idea of the you-centric browser, the browser of the next 3 years, right? Which means that you are at the center. One facet of this is a program, a project that we have out now, sort of an experiment called Ubiquity, used by around 400,000 people, give or take. I think it might be up since the last time I checked. And its basic idea is instead of typing what you want to find, like Google does, you just type what you want to do. Want to translate some text into another language? Say translate this, or translate this to Russian.
What does this use to translate? Does it use Google's Translate API, or is this something that you guys have?
The built-in version uses Google Translate, but the great thing about Ubiquity is that writing new functionality is around this much code, right? And it's extensible by anybody. So to add, say, a new translate would be around 50 lines of code, and you could do it to any service you wanted, and choose any service. And actually, if we were doing the final implementation of the Translate service, you would look through your history and see, do you use Yahoo Translate? Do you use Alta Vista, like Babelfish? Do you use Google Translate? And would use whatever service you already use.
Right, okay. Now, I just want to cut this short because, it's getting long, but what do you want to see happening next?
In the browser space?
Well, in the startup space, because I mean, I know that what you're doing in the browser, and basically you knocked everybody's socks off. See, I'm not even wearing socks now. but what do you want to see from all these, hundreds of developers and people out here? Where do you think that the next big thing is going to be? Besides the browser, I mean, besides a browser that doesn't fail. And
so the thing I'm really fascinated by is once we get past the idea of websites being page-driven. You go to a page, you view the content, you go on to the next page. Instead, when people really internalize the idea that I'm at a page, it's my canvas, and I can pull in anything I want, any piece of functionality at any time, right? The web changes from being very destination-centric to being very task-centric or you-centric, right? So once people have got that, I have no idea what the web looks like, really, right?
Well, have you just killed all ads?
Who knows, right?
Because I saw that you pwned or owned, however you pronounce those letters, a Google page that you basically just took off the Google image and put on your own thing, which, I mean, is a nice CSS trick or a nice whatever trick, but you could just do that with ads as well, and you could do that with anything.
So let me be really clear, like, commerce on the web and e-commerce, very important, right? At the same time, the web should be yours. The way it looks should be yours. And as we move to a more task-centric view, where you don't always have to visit a page, I mean, ads, let's face it, they do hurt user experience, right?
They also fund user experience. So.
They also fund user experience, it's true. So there's going to have to be some shift in business model. Right. That's another thing I'm fascinated to see. I think it's going to be in the hookup of services to content. You can see what Google AdWords already does is that it's at the exact moment that you're searching that it provides you a service, which is, hey, this thing is actually pretty relevant. Okay. And that's where they make money, and that's where they create value. And that same sort of creation of value and recommendation services are still going to be hyper important, and even more important, sort of that new web economy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With Aza Raskin, I am Ezra Butler for 1938 Media at FOA, 2009, London. Good food here.